To the bushfire emergency now, which is gripping southeast Queensland and northern New South Wales.
Emergency crews have worked through the night to protect homes and tackle the infernos, and we begin our coverage with Brendan Smith on Queensland's Sunshine Coast. Brendan, you're in the hardest hit area of Peregian Springs. Residents there have spent the night away from their homes.
Yeah, they have indeed. More than 400 residents have spent another night in evacuation centres, with the majority of the fire zones still locked down. As you can see behind me, we are on Murdering Creek Road, which goes into Emu Mountain Road. That is still blocked off. We've seen a number of cars arriving, residents trying to get into their homes. It is believed that over the past couple of days, some people have been able to return to their homes with a police escort just to check on, to see if their home is still standing and to check on any pets if they are still there. In terms of the Peregian Beach fire, it has been downgraded from an emergency level to a watch and act, but it still is uncontained. There are currently still 70 fires burning across Queensland. As we know, Fireys had another busy night battling those flames. We saw the plane yesterday drop that fire retardant gel to help stop those flames from jumping into other areas. They did drop that in front of the fire zone, hoping to douse those flames. The flames have eased, but as I said, they are still burning out of control. It's set to be another busy day for firefighters. There is likely to be more humidity in the air. That's great news for firefighters. That is what they desperately need, humidity and, of course, rain, but there doesn't seem like there is much rain on the way. As we know, one home has been destroyed, one home partially damaged, but as the acting Premier and a number of fire officials said yesterday, it is just so lucky that no one has lost their life and there has been no serious injuries reported yet. So that's what Jackie Trad described as a miracle on the fire front. But as I say, we are not out of the woods yet. It is likely to pick up on the weekend in terms of temperatures. Temperatures are likely to pick up by around 10 more degrees than usual. So another hot weekend away. But just hopefully firefighters can continue to battle and eventually douse those flames.
Brendan, thank you. Let's go live now to Darryl Rash. He's the State Operations Coordinator at the Queensland Fire and Emergency Services. Thanks so much for your time. Darryl, where are the problem areas today?
Hi, good morning and welcome to your listeners. Basically, we have a number of incidents that we're looking at this morning. So we've still got a number of active fires in the Surreybar area. We've got fires that have become contained or have been contained in the Stanthorpe and the Balladine Applethorpe area. So that's good news overnight. Conditions were a bit more conducive to the winds were abating and quite low, back to more normal winds and traditional winds that the crews would normally be used to. So there's been some good work and activity overnight. Unfortunately, a number of these fires, vegetation fires across the state, are still in inaccessible areas, and crews have been able to reach some of those or some of the work on the flanks of those fires overnight and hopefully try and strengthen some containment lines around those, because we are preparing for conditions to start worsening towards the end of the week on Friday. And we've got in the next couple of days some of those fire danger ratings reducing in some areas, which we're hoping to be able to get some our aerial observing platforms back up again this morning, in combination then with some strategic water bombing if that's appropriate with crews on the ground. And certainly the success of that fire retardant drop yesterday, and in a highly urbanised area though, and that adjacent to that area that was burning, that was seen to be a good effect. But again, that certainly still has had crews on it overnight, because there's still a large area that, as mentioned earlier, is still uncontained.
So Darryl, just as it stands, is there any threat to properties?
The crews will be assessing that now the daylight. So they'll have some aerial platforms up and start to assess that, and they'll be starting to look at the fire behaviour, looking at the weather and looking at what they're seeing on the ground, the conditions, and they'll start to put that into their plans today to start to identify what further work needs to be done, if further water bombing and drops need to be delivered and where. And they'll be trying to do it to multi-layered effect. So we've got a lot of firefighters and volunteers on the fire ground. We've also got a lot of people in the coordination centres, the incident management teams, starting to assess that. And it's a day-by-day process. They can do some projection, but given that we've seen variable conditions over a period, given how dry it is, no outlook for rain, and certainly the winds being erratic as they were and then settling, as we move into the the higher danger fire danger rating towards the end of the week. We're hoping not to see a return of those erratic winds, but given the conditions, it could be a similar outcome. So the planning that we're doing now will help start to improve what we do and how we do it, knowing the conditions and how we've been seeing the fire behave. So there's a combination of resources, but it needs that continual planning to ensure that we're effective in what we do.